Welcome. This video provides an overview of the underlying concepts used in this course. The video explains the general approach to using ChatGPT alongside standard operating procedures in accounting workflows and outlines the ideas discussed in this session only. There are no actions required and no preparation needed. The video is intended to give context and definitions that support the material presented here. Once this video ends, you're done for now. Welcome to the Using ChatGPT Consistently series. And this series exists for one simple reason: to give you consistency. If you are here, it means you are no longer asking what ChatGPT is, and you are not trying to redesign your work or your role. You are dealing with something more practical, using ChatGPT in a way that doesn't fall apart under deadlines, interruptions, or fatigue. This series is designed for CPAs who already have enough on their plate. Nothing in this series assumes extra time, creativity, or experimentation. The focus is on repeatable use, the kinds that holds up during busy periods and does not require constant rethinking or relearning. You do not need to complete anything else before being here. You are not behind. You are not expected to level up or move on afterward. Each course in this series stands on its own. You can take some, one, all of them. They are not steps and they are not building toward any future requirement. They are simply explanations of common patterns, questions, and structures that tend to come up once ChatGPT is used more than occasionally. Other series exist, but they are optional and unrelated to your completion here. There is no expectation that you will go elsewhere, revisit earlier material, or continue beyond what is immediately useful. This series is here to reduce friction, not create momentum. If your goal is to complete required CPE calmly, understand what you are seeing, and move on without loose ends, you are in the right place. When a specific video ends, nothing is waiting for you to do. There is no follow-up obligation. There is no implied next action. You can take what is useful, leave the rest, and be done. One final note: you will hear and see references to the Pharos Digital Dojo and our Black Belt system. That is meant to give you background context, not a requirement that you complete all the pieces. Again, this program has been created so that you only need to focus on the video you're currently watching. Thank you. Welcome to the blue belt level of our Pharos Digital Dojo. In this belt level, we refer to our blue belts as the hopeful experimenters. And again, we're on the journey from our white belt overwhelmed observer to our double black belt empowered advocate. In the hopeful experimenter, by the time you get here, you've covered the white, yellow, orange, and green. And what that means is you've hopefully by now built the confidence, and your first thoughts here are, ChatGPT might actually help me. So we've built that solid foundation of experimenting and practicing. We understand some practical operations, and here we're really going to get into my favorite use case, which is using ChatGPT to create standard operating procedures. So that is our insight. AI, ChatGPT, will be the foundation for your new standard operating procedures. We'll cover a lot about standard operating procedures, SOPs, and in particular, how powerful they can be in your business. So the clarity moment here is we want to break down manual work into atomic, automatable steps. And there's a few books here that have influenced me, none more so than The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes. I'll be honest, I didn't read it for the longest time because I didn't want to build a sales machine. I don't want to be in sales or anything like that. It wasn't my area of expertise. But when I read it, it tore my brain apart in a wonderful way, because Chet Holmes talks about things that really matter to me, like pig-headed discipline and determination. He talks about time management, and above all, he talks about creating a workshop to enhance the workflows in your business. So it is, in fact, a very powerful book for a business leader, not just for a sales leader. Now, the cool part is when you build your business right, the sales come naturally. So Chet Holmes, The Ultimate Sales Machine. Obviously, I was influenced by the work of Michael Gerber, the E-Myth Revisited, and that pretty much that entire E-Myth series. Again, I used to think systems and processes were something done to me, but really they're something I do for myself. They're here to free me up from the mundane day-to-day so I can focus on my highest and best use of time. Gino Wickman's Traction, that one felt a little more practical for me. I started to really embrace it. And then I met David Jennings and read his book Systemology. And again, that was mind-shattering just in terms of how to simply and easily create systems and processes. And working with David a little bit, I had the pleasure of understanding the simpleness of SOPs. And honestly, the piece that was always missing was artificial intelligence, and I'll explain that. Now, the final book that drives me and that I found really, really helpful here is Atomic Habits by James Clear. And there's a couple things he talks about in the book. Obviously, habits. And what I love is if we train people and we teach them how to internalize what we do so that it becomes a habit, they don't have to remember to follow our checklists. They don't have to remember to do the things we tell them. They just do it. So habits, I believe, are critical. And then, of course, we want this to be fun. So I build a little bit of gamification in. Now, back to SOPs and what they do and why they're important, and why AI is the missing piece. I believe that a good system, whatever that system is, our employees will rise or fall to the level of our systems, not to the level of their abilities. So great systems allow great employees to do great things. Terrible systems, sorry, but nobody's going to do great things. So the idea of the SOPs is to take our rock stars, turn them into a little bit of a, let's call it a training model. They're going to walk through, say, here's what I do here, here's why I do it, here's this, here's that. We record it, we transcribe it, and then we use AI to examine it and optimize it. And again, the beautiful thing about employees is, let's pretend there's only three bands. There's the underperforming, the below average, there's the range around average, and then there's the high performing above average. My goal with a good set of SOPs is that we take some of the weight off of our rock stars. They should be able to, if they develop best practices and we optimize what they do, they should be able to perform at an even higher level consistently. And again, we can take some away friction that slows them down. Our average people should become slightly better, if not better. They're not going to become rock stars overnight, but we can improve them. And the best part is we can even improve our below average. So overall, our average keeps shifting higher and higher as we optimize. So systems